Hello. Well, I said I'd do like a video a week to say what I'd been up to. So hello, Patreon. What have I been up to? So my scheduling went a bit off because I've actually started that series about what broke Britain, and I was actually really, really scared about doing the video about Labour's subordination of social movements, just because these people are so dangerous, like to anybody who injures their narcissistic identity, really. And I was really worried, and I kind of had a bit of a meltdown for about 2-3 days. But actually, that series is kind of going on the study of how they use social movements is up, and then there was one yesterday that was just about the turf war that's embroiling the Guardian. But largely, I kind of realised that stuff's past, and it's just a culture kind of spinning out on Twitter, and I don't have to go near it. The history series I'm getting on with, I'm actually enjoying it a really lot. I had done the one about the Parthians, and then I realised that I wanted to shift the focus to kind of the economic development in Iran itself. So I've just redone it, and I'm gonna have a look at it in a minute, and then I'm probably gonna upload that today. But I'm really enjoying doing that. Next week's the one that I'm really interested in, which is like Armenia and Central Asia, which is a history I had never even, like, doing these videos is sorting out my geography. Like, I thought my geography was alright, but it's really not, and it's given me kind of a deep understanding of the development of the Balkans and the importance of Central Asia. And then all of a sudden I'm kind of looking at modern news and current news and realising that this is really important territory. And I'm probably, like, when I can kind of find the stomach to it, I'm going to actually, like, because next week when I discuss Central Asia, one of the places I'm going to be discussing is Afghanistan as like a centre of kind of intellectual and cultural and religious flourishing that shaped the world. And, you know, the US troops have just pulled out of Afghanistan, and the Taliban nearly have control of it. And there are issues with the borders, which all of a sudden make sense because I'm doing these other videos about the steppe. So the Central Asia and Armenia stuff is next week, and then I'm finishing, like, I'm kind of, once I've looked at the video that I've just done about the Parthians and the Persians and dynastic Iran, I'm going to decide whether I'm going to upload it or redo it. I might just add a little bit into it, which, like, I'm absolutely delighted to say I have finally discovered that you can, because I don't even live in the 21st century. I've basically installed a program so that I record my videos on this program, and I can stop and I can start and I can edit, and I don't have to do like a half-hour, you know, single take for the history stuff, or, you know, I can actually stop and splice and cut. So I'm like really excited about that. So I think maybe the reason I'm looking at the Parthian videos is I actually want to have a go at that. I'm pathetic. I'm actually pathetic. Somebody had asked me about books that I was looking at and books that I was kind of interested in, and I, like, what I'm going to start doing is keeping a wish list. My Amazon, I've transferred, like, I usually actually keep it in my shopping basket under save for later, so that whenever I can afford to buy one, I add it to my basket. But I've transferred it all to a wish list, so you can see the list of books that are kind of on my horizon, and it's like a really eclectic list. There's everything from a new updated version of Five Giants to stuff about the Eurasian steppe and the nomads of Central Asia. There's some really interesting stuff about Ptolemaic Egypt on there, if that's your bag, or there's stuff about women in Mesopotamia. There's a couple of really great social work books called Critical Practices and Themes, Issues and Critical Debates, which still stand the test of time, that are actually worth your time. So I thought I'd upload that kind of list so you could see what books I'm kind of interested in. Some is really interesting, like I'm reading at the minute. I have to do, in order to kind of do any kind of history of the Silk Roads, at some point I have to do a video about the British East India Company. And it's kind of galling, like the Opium Wars. We literally flooded China with opium to destabilize them. And this kind of ended, like, the Chinese imperial system. Like, what we did to this country was horrific. And it's kind of at the birth of how Hong Kong came into being. So I'm gonna, like, there's a couple of books on that in there, and I've just kind of up, like, the whole list of books in there as like a wish list. So I'm going to put that up on Patreon so you can have a look at it. I'm probably going to stick it under the videos as I do them. My scheduling has been thrown out, first of all by being ill, and then by my absolute meltdown over whether it was safe to actually discuss Labour's subordination of social movements. But I really have realised that that's just a storm in a Twitter teacup, and this is a dying media organisation, and I don't have to be worried about them at all. and I am safe to speak online. I'm still kind of really enjoying it. I'm finding that kind of aiming for 2 videos a week is giving me 2 separate sources of study during the week, which is actually really, really useful, and I'm kind of liking it. It's been really nice to talk to people on Patreon. I will try and put one of these up. I should be able to get this up on Vimeo today because I'm getting all technologically adept. So that's really just a hi from me, and I hope you're all well, and let me know what you're reading, what you're doing, what you think, what you'd like me to, I don't know, whatever you want really. Message me, say hello. Bye bye.